Welcome to your Past Week in Politics. I'm Joe Matz. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's proposed gas tax was reduced by the House Representatives from 46 cents per gallon to 38.7 yesterday. The Ohio House passed the new tax, which will go forward to the Senate, where it is expected to be changed further. The tax will bring in almost $900 million per year. DeWine's version would have brought in $1.2 billion. He says that his 46-cent tax proposal was the bare minimum to prevent the transportation funding crisis in Ohio, and that this version will not get the job done properly. The new version also removes DeWine's plan to have the tax change with inflation. Republican Party leaders in the legislature are generally opposed to tax increases, but have recognized that something needs to be changed to keep Ohio's roads from falling into disrepair. DeWine himself said during his campaign that he would not support increases in taxes and often used that point in debates against his opponent. When he became governor, he said that he realized the Department of Transportation situation was much worse than he thought.
This is a question of jobs. Companies are not going to come to a state where the roads are in total disrepair.
Earlier this week, Governor DeWine delayed 3 more death sentences after one he delayed earlier this year. He says that he will continue to delay these deaths until Ohio can come up with a better lethal injection procedure than the current 3-drug mix. These delays are in response to an Ohio judge's decision that the current method is cruel and unusual punishment because it causes a feeling of drowning before death, similar to waterboarding. In other Ohio news, Senator Sherrod Brown announced that he will not be running for president in the 2020 election. Although there was speculation about his candidacy, he announced that he was content to stay in the Senate. It may have something to do with the now 14 candidates running on the Democratic ballot and talk of Joe Biden entering the race soon. This week, Lantern reporter Debbie Eschen interviewed Edith Espinal, a Mexican woman facing deportation in Columbus. She is taking refuge in a local church. Here are some of the most notable moments from the interview.
Churches are considered sensitive locations for immigration and customs enforcement, who generally don't raid these sites. Before her sanctuary stay, Edith lived in Columbus, Ohio for over 20 years with her husband and 3 children.
I decided to enter to sanctuary because, what I tell you before, I have one deportation order from immigration, especially with ICE. The ICE officers tell me in August 2017 I need to back to Mexico, and they tell me they want to deport me. That's why I make the decision to come in sanctuary to stop my deportation order.
The Columbus City Council passed a resolution February 25th in symbolic support of Edith and Miriam Vargas, another woman in sanctuary. While the resolution does not change her citizenship status, it is a show of support from Columbus officials.
It's really a first step in building public support for Edith's case. This is like the first big win to say the city of Columbus stands behind Edith. So we're hoping that can just keep building more support so people in power act in a way that will allow Edith to go back to her home.
The full video can be found on our YouTube page, and her article is on the Lantern website. Earlier today, a large protest took place outside the campus Wendy's. Here's Reggie Thomas with more.
Today, the Student Farm Workers Alliance and the Coalition of Immokalee Workers participated in the Boot the Braids March in a boycott of Wendy's. Protesters marched from Goodell Park to the Wendy's on North High Street and ended at Bricker Hall. The goal behind this campaign is to sway the university to end its contracts with Wendy's after the fast food chain has refused to sign on to the Fair Food program. It has now been 6 years since the Student Farm Workers Alliance began the campaign here on campus. Boot the Braids protest tours have been taking place across the country since 2016, and the CIW still maintains that Wendy's has not taken appropriate action to help workers. Thanks for watching. Joe and I are going on spring break this week, so we will see you in 2 weeks.